What's up, you fish hacks? Welcome to Tim's School of Fish, and class is in session. Today, I want to talk about a brand new release from Miguron that is a contender for the best budget knife of 2023. This knife was just released a little while ago, and it is awesome. Pow! That is the Miguron Centurion, and it comes in under $50. What Miguron is doing is absolutely amazing. The quality that they are putting out for less than $50. They are giving CJRB a run for the crown of best budget manufacturer, and they are definitely outdoing CIVIVI in my opinion. So let's get this camera turned around and take a closer look at this brand new Centurion and some other Miguron knives. Alright, so I've got some Miguron knives laid out here in the Miguron Centurion. So let's take a look at this Centurion first, and then we'll talk a little bit about Miguron. Alright, this thing has G10 scales, but the G10 on the Centurion is slightly different than most of their previous budget releases. The previous ones have this orange peel type G10 on it, and Miguron does a very good job on their G10. This Centurion has this very smooth G10 on it. It almost feels like wood in the hand, which I really like. So what Miguron is doing for under $50 is unbelievable. You get T8 torque screws all the way around on the pivot, the body screws, and even on the clip screws. The clip on every one of these Miguron knives is milled titanium. On this particular one, we've got a G10 backspacer. This one is a flipper tab deployment. It also has dual thumb studs, and it is perfectly centered right out of the box. Action on this is absolutely ridiculous. I've only had this for a couple days. That is right out of the box, fellas. It has this hydraulic drop shut action that for a sub $50 knife is just ridiculous. It's easy to thumb flick, flipper deploy, but what I really like is the reverse index finger flick. I like the acoustics. This one comes in right at 8 1/4 inches. You've got this gorgeous modified drop point blade, almost a clip point, has kind of a trailing point look to it, has a stone washed finish down here, has a nice flat that goes about 60 or 65% of the way down the blade, and it has a horizontal belt satin finish on the flat, and it's got a gorgeous swedge towards the tip. We don't have any jimping on the spine, but we do have a thumb notch. Ergos on this thing are fantastic. Your thumb falls right into that notch. It's got a nice generous forward finger choil so you can choke up. You can get a full 4-fingered hammer grip on this thing, and this is just phenomenal. And you get that on all Miguron knives in their budget line that are under $50. We've got the Miguron Pagos. A lot of times on their black G10 models, you also get an anodized pivot collar. This is the Pagos, sub $50. This is the Miguron Velona. A lot of guys really like this one. They've released premium versions of this one. I do like this one. I think it's a gorgeous knife, but it's just a little bit, it's about a ½ an inch too big for my personal pocket carry preference. I really like this one. This is the Pelora, and in my opinion, this is a budget alternative to the Wii Banter. Instead of paying $120 for a Wii Banter, you get the exact same materials, almost slightly bigger than the Wii Banter. For a long time, this Miguron Pelora was my favorite until this one came out that most of you guys are familiar with. This is the Moyarl. I love the profile on that. I think they did the thumb hole perfectly. So, as it is right now, the Moyarl is my favorite budget Miguron. This is the Miguron Takog. Oops. This is one of their earlier releases. This one has the stamped stainless clip, T6 hardware. Then they upped their game and they started giving us more premium materials. The blade steel on every one of these is 14C 28N. And some guys, what they don't like about the Miguron budget knives is the fact that the G10, the handle, is a little bit thicker than most EDC knives. Now, it's only a millimeter or two thicker, and to me, it feels good in the hand. It just makes it feel like you're holding something substantial and you can get a better purchase on the knife. But it's not so thick that it makes it difficult to carry. It doesn't feel bricky or bulky. It doesn't carry heavy or thick in the pocket. To me, it's just right. I appreciate the fact that their G10 and most of their handles are slightly thicker than a lot of other EDC knives. Another thing I like about what Miguron is doing is there is no billboarding on any of their blades. We've got the blade steel stamped on there. If I can get this to focus. 14C 28N, and that is it. There is nothing else on any of these blades. They give you their logo on the pivot, which is just a nice subtle M, you know, nothing too extravagant or over the top. This Centurion, I've only had it for a couple days. I've only carried it for a few days, but it is easily becoming one of my favorites. It's just as good as the Moyarl. It is easily as good as the Moyarl. Now, it's a different knife. It's bigger. The handle shape is slightly different. And obviously the blade profile is very different. But the Centurion is equally as good. And the action on the Centurion is the best of any of them. Right out of the box, this one has been the best. Now, this Centurion was released a year ago, a couple years ago. It was called the Centurion 2. It was a premium knife, and this is the budget version. The only difference between the budget version, the premium was M390 steel. This one's 14C 28N. The handle material on the budget one is G10. And what they've done is added a flipper tab. The premium, the Centurion 2, did not have a flipper tab, but the Centurion does have a flipper tab. Absolutely phenomenal knife. In my opinion, this is a contender for the best budget release of 2023, and there has been a ton of good ones in 2023. I think I think these are out of stock at most places. White Mountain Knives might still have some in stock. But when they released this went fast. I'm sure they'll have more in stock soon. But if you haven't gotten your hands on one of these, if you have not picked up one of these yet, this is an absolutely fantastic knife. I cannot recommend this one highly enough. I can't tell you how happy I am with this. I love all of my Miguron knives. I think they're fantastic. I hope that they continue to put out this quality for under $50 because they are absolutely killing it. Killing it for under $50. Now, I don't want them to price these knives higher, but for what they're giving us, they could easily price these knives higher. But I hope they continue to produce these for under $50 because if they do, they are going to dominate the budget space, in my opinion. They are already almost there, right? CJRB has put out a lot of great budget stuff, but if Miguron keeps doing this, they are going to own the budget knife world. So there you go, boys and girls. Just a quick review of the Miguron Centurion. Absolutely fantastic knife. Cannot recommend this one highly enough. I appreciate you guys for watching. I appreciate you liking and commenting on my videos. That's it for this episode of Tim's School of Fish, boys and girls. Class dismissed.